For nearly a century, the World Cup was a closed club, heavily concentrated in Europe and South America. But for 2026, FIFA expanded the format to 48 teams, adding 16 new slots across Africa, Asia, and CONCACAF. This expansion altered the tournament's demographics. Of the 1,248 players confirmed for the final squads, 891 are making their tournament debut, meaning over 70% of the field has no prior World Cup experience. This new structure provided an entry point for national programs that reached their peak development phase at the exact moment the bracket opened. Cape Verde is one of them. Ranked 69th globally, they secured their place by winning their group and defeating traditional powers like Cameroon. Jordan, ranked 63rd, emerged as a dark horse in the Asian bracket, outperforming several higher-ranked regional rivals to claim their first ever berth. Then there is Curaçao. Ranked 82nd, they arrive as the smallest nation by population to ever qualify, highlighting how the format changed the CONCACAF landscape. Uzbekistan is the highest-ranked newcomer. Sitting at 50th in the world, they are the strongest debutante, entering after a qualifying campaign with just one loss. These four nations represent the shift toward broader global representation, turning years of near misses into immediate participation on the sport's biggest stage. Since gaining independence in 1991, Uzbekistan has been one of Asia's most consistent teams to never reach the finals. Under the old 32-team system, they repeatedly fielded competitive squads that fell just short of the threshold. Their history is defined by narrow margins. In 2006, their playoff victory over Bahrain was voided due to a refereeing error. They were eliminated after the replay. In 2014, they missed qualification behind South Korea based entirely on goal difference. This era of stalled momentum is best seen in the career of Server Deparov. He retired with a record 128 caps, representing a generation of talent that never saw a World Cup despite dominating regional play. Reaching the 2026 tournament is the result of decades of institutional buildup. After 30 years of near misses, Uzbekistan's domestic Super League and youth academies finally produced a squad capable of navigating the final rounds. To finalize this transition, the Uzbekistan Football Association hired Fabio Cannavaro in October 2025. The former Italian captain and 2006 World Cup winner was brought in to instill tactical discipline in a roster already rich with technical skill. Cannavaro moved the team toward a system based on intense pressing and rapid wing transitions, prioritizing international experience and defensive organization. Captain Eldor Shomurodov is the center of this attack. Playing for AS Roma in Italy, he is the nation's all-time top scorer with 44 goals and provides the squad with top-tier European experience. Defensively, the team relies on Abduqadar Husanov. The Manchester City centre-back was signed for $44 million in 2025, bringing physically demanding Premier League experience to the backline. This combination of a highly established generation and a European tactical framework re-engineered Uzbekistan from a regional contender into a World Cup debutante. Uzbekistan's schedule in Group K is geographically demanding. Their path requires them to move from Mexico City to Houston and finally to Atlanta, covering thousands of miles between matches. The competition is equally difficult. They open in the high altitude of Mexico City against Colombia, before facing a physically demanding DR Congo team. Between those matches, they must face Portugal in Houston, a game that will test Cannavaro's defensive organization against some of the most prolific attackers in the world. This schedule will test the physical and tactical depth of the squad, determining how they translate regional consistency into the global format. While surviving the group stage would be a significant statistical feat for a debutante, simply competing in these matches changes Uzbekistan's standing in Asian football. Their inclusion marks the first time a Central Asian nation has qualified for the tournament, fulfilling the goal of widening global representation through the 48-team format. This visibility influences local infrastructure and youth training across neighboring borders, often preceding new waves of government and corporate investment in the region's football academies. The expanding map of the World Cup proves that every established football tradition had to begin somewhere. For the White Wolves, bat history begins in 2026.